Hello, everyone. I'm Jim Rose, Director of Customer Success at RapidSOS. We're so glad you could spare part of your day here with us at Ready23. Ready23 is hosted by RapidSOS. If you're not familiar, RapidSOS is an intelligent safety platform that securely links life-saving data to monitoring centers, 911, and first responders in emergencies. At Ready23, we aim to foster a sense of unity and sharing purpose amongst stakeholders in emergency response ecosystems. Ready23 is an opportunity to connect, collaborate, and catalyze the change in the world of public safety and emergency response. We encourage everybody to actively engage on the virtual event platform. So participate through that platform in this event. And today we have the pleasure of being joined by two panelists from both business and public safety sectors. Scott Ford, co-founder and CEO of Pepper. David Bubb, Executive Director, Fort Wayne, Allen County 911. Scott and David, I'll give you a chance here to introduce yourself and tell us more about why you've joined us to talk about emergency response. Let's start with Scott.
Great. Thanks, Jim. And thanks for including me in your Ready23 event. Honored to be here. Again, I'm Scott Ford. I'm the co-founder of a company called Pepper. What Pepper is a platform, an Internet of Things or IoT platform that focuses on the connectivity and the orchestration of communication between consumer-grade connected devices and their owners. So we work with consumer electronics manufacturers and other enterprises who want to participate in the massively, sort of growing Internet of Things or connected device industry by bringing the digital engagement part of the whole IoT loop, if you will. So you have a device, you have the Pepper firmware software that's embedded on the device. We control all the communications from that device through our cloud infrastructure and then to the interfaces or mobile apps. And so we do this for enterprises that are consumer electronics manufacturers, service providers, insurance carriers. The insurance industry is a big area for us. So the reason I'm excited about our partnership with RapidSOS is we want to target the 80% of the market who has not had home security or central station monitored home security. So as you might know, for the last decade or so, the home security industry has really only penetrated 20% of U.S. households. And that's, due to a lot of reasons, one being price point. And so what we are doing is bringing do-it-yourself monitoring through RapidSOS to the masses. We sell devices through Walmart and through other mass market retailers, and we are selling security services to those owners of those devices directly, leveraging the RapidSOS platform and services.
Over to you, David.
Great. Thanks. I echo Scott's same sentiments about being involved here, and welcome to those of you in attendance. I personally, my tenure in the public safety communications industry spans about 45 years. Believe it or not, I'm still doing this. I've worked in many facets of the industry, from my hometown police department to large or larger consolidated centers, as the industry seems to be moving towards. I also spent some time on a global level working within governments and folks around the world, setting up training and 911 centers and trying to establish and adopt standards in our industry that are so desperately needed. I've been afforded some opportunities in this industry that a lot of people don't get the chance to. So now I'm working to pass those on and mentor the next generation. But what really excites me about Ready23 and why I wanted to get involved is, as Scott talked about, the innovations, the technologies, the consumer, all of that stuff eventually gets connected to public safety but yet we're always, if ever, at the table in the discussion and the development of these products. And what's the end use going to be? And we're struggling as an industry with some of the technology. It's moving so fast and so quick that we're trying to stay involved in and be a part of the cutting edge, so we all benefit and we don't have a huge learning curve at the end when we now have to deal with this technology in a oftentimes not so controlled environment.
Thank you. Scott, you touched on this a little bit, but can you elaborate more on how safety fits into your company's mission and why it's a priority in today's world?
Sure. Our focus again is enabling the underlying services for connected devices and their owners. And part of our business model is to create services that these end users or consumers can leverage. One of those is related to safety and security, which is what we're partnering with RapidSOS to do. And so it's important in our business because we want to disrupt the home security or the legacy home security world by making high quality home security available to the masses, to the 80% of the population that has not had access to home security type products. What we want to do is enable a consumer to have just a single device that they can arm, and if there's some sort of trigger to that alarm, can engage with RapidSOS to ultimately deploy emergency services. So we can do this with a single device, a set of devices, or even a system. And I think that the market has been really hungry for this for a long time, and we can offer it at a fraction of the traditional pricing for home security.
Thank you for sharing. And David, again, you touched on this a little bit in the intro, but like to know if there's more on the collaboration that you see between public and private partners that are transforming emergency response.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good question. One of the benefits that we reap of private industry doing what they do is at the speed at which it can be accomplished. Government's never been real good about being quick on most anything. So these technologies that private industry is taking advantage of, I can remember working with the Security Industry Association 20 years ago on certain technologies that public safety was interested in, and we just couldn't get them off the ground. Now they're coming at us every time we turn around. And through RapidSOS and collaborative partnerships like that, we're able to, I think, bring those to market. When I say that market, bring them to bear in our industry. That's really exciting, and we look forward to. Although there are some unintended consequences, and I'm going to talk about those a little bit. But we're in a position to start accepting a lot of this technology that I know that Scott's talking about.
Very good. And Scott, can you provide any insight into the specific advantages that the partnership brings? For instance, customer retention or attracting new customers, or even some of the cost savings?
Yeah, I'd say all of the above, for sure. So this partnership brings a ton of value, that complements our sort of forward-looking technology with state-of-the-art technology that RapidSOS brings. And so there are customer retention benefits. So today, we'll service a customer who buys, say, cloud storage for a Wi-Fi connected camera. The typical life for a subscriber for us is about 30 months. We expect that when we begin to launch the RapidSOS service, that lifetime value will be extended. So there's a great economic benefit to us, a great consumer relationship benefit to us, as well as cost savings. So this has not been affordable to companies like us until RapidSOS has come onto the scene and created very kind of turnkey products at a price that we can then begin to push out into the market to the everyday consumer who wants safety, who wants home security that otherwise couldn't afford it before.
Valuable insight. And David, could you describe how your agency leverages RapidSOS and the impact that has on your community?
Sure, it's fairly straightforward. As I've talked about in a world today that's developing products that are so customers with interfaces and interactions to the public safety, we look to RapidSOS because one of the things that we struggle with, and this is real in the public safety world, is standardization. And everybody has a market niche, everybody has a proprietary product, and part of that proprietariness is a uniqueness that somebody else doesn't have. You got to have a better mousetrap. However, if that translates into another way of us having to do our business, when the end result, when we get connected and involved, and if it creates a multiple or if it creates multiple layers of the way we have to do our job, depending on who and where the product or the end result is coming from, that only slows us down. So we look to RapidSOS as almost the gatekeeper, if you will, with the services that you provide us or the interfaces that you provide us to kind of, and we have some talking to do about this because that's still not in its infancy. We look to you maybe as potentially setting some standards that, and I'll give you a good example. We had to do this years ago in the radio world. The different manufacturers, when we started going to 800 megahertz radio systems, were operating on different platforms. And finally, an organization had to come and step forward, and the industry sort of policed itself and said, hey, look, we need to have a common platform. So it shouldn't matter whether agency A has this radio and agency B has this radio, they can still talk to each other. We're running into the same thing with some of the products that we're dealing with today, that if this company provides this service, but we have to massage it one way, yet another company providing pretty much the same service in a different way, that's not good for public safety, having that many different ways of potentially doing business. So again, we look to RapidSOS to kind of be the ringleader, gatekeeper, conduit, whatever you want to call it, in helping public safety streamline these processes.
Excellent. And there are a lot of innovative companies, partnerships that we have. Scott, how can other organizations draw inspiration from the partnership here? And what advice or insight would you have for companies that are aiming to establish a similar collaborations, but in the context of their own end user customer safety?
Yeah, and you said the word innovate or innovation earlier. I think that's exactly the reason that we're so attached to RapidSOS at this point. The company has been able to keep pace with us and in some ways lead the market in certain innovative technologies. So if you think about it, we as Pepper are trying to be disruptive to a multi-decade old massive industry of home security. The only way you're going to disrupt that is to appeal to a market with differentiation and new and affordable services. So all along the way, RapidSOS has been there with us, thinking about how to innovate given the customers or the consumers that we're trying to appeal to, but within the limits of today's technology, but being prepared to launch with tomorrow's technology. We have a saying in our company that we will never strand our end users with yesterday's technology. And so to be able to stand behind that, we need partners like RapidSOS that can keep at the pace of innovation as it occurs in the marketplace. So our interest here, again, is to innovate to a much broader population than the industry has ever been able to attract before. And to be able to do that, you absolutely have to be at the cutting edge of technology and innovation.
I love to hear that. And you both are clearly leaders in the space of adopting new technology. So this last question to both of you is going to be pretty insightful. How do you envision the evolution of emergency response technology over the next decade? Not only the opportunities, but what challenges do you foresee? Let's start with Scott.
Yeah, sure. I see emergency response leveraging, the connected technologies and evolving into a whole new set of use cases. It's been multiple decades of being sort of anchored in the home for home security. Now with everything connected and everything mobile, to take your sense of security with you wherever you go, to have the ability to incorporate a panic button, to send emergency services wherever you are, not just, where your service is anchored to your home. So I see the evolution to become much more personal than residential, if that makes sense. But be able to cover the things you care about whenever and wherever you are.
Thanks for sharing that. David, what are your thoughts on the next decade?
Several. It's, again, in our business, it's kind of scary to think where we may be in the next 10 years versus where we've come. And obviously we reap the benefits of these technological advances and innovative thinking and product line and all that kind of thing. However, we also oftentimes there's unintended consequences. Again, that some of that may come to, should we have been at the table perhaps in the earlier stages of designing and planning? And I'll give you a great example. I think years ago, 25 years ago, you never heard the word home invasion. That just wasn't a thing. Nobody would break into a house when you were there. It was all burglaries after you left. Then that system, the alarm systems, got so sophisticated that burglars quickly realized it's a lot easier, because nobody sets their alarm when they're at home, to go in and start home invading while people were there. And so that criminals aren't stupid either. So they find ways as best they can around it. And those are some of the things that we're looking to enjoy with RapidSOS, our relationship there. And again, if not for Rapid and some of the work that you're doing, would we still be on lat and long coordination, GPS coordination, for trying to find a caller? Because again, public safety wasn't moving very fast and that sort of thing. And now with the location technology that you guys are all embracing, and we're getting, again, the benefit of that, it's making our job a whole lot easier. So we have a saying that in our industry, the way it's been over decades, is that an incident occurs and that incident must try to find 911, a way to connect, a way to get to us, a way to give us information. Where I see this industry going, and I think we're already there, and I've had this discussion in Nashville with RapidSOS, is that the paradigm shift seems to be now that incidents are occurring, and we're actually trying to go out and find those incidents before they occur with AI and gunshot detection and those types of things. And it sounds exactly what Scott is talking about. And I just made this comment to somebody the other day. I said, well, take my first example of the home invasion versus burglary. With the use of AI or other technology, can we, and I think Jim or Scott, you almost alluded to it, a device within the home that knows things aren't going right and are normal, that would notify public safety, that's a home invasion. How do we call that in without anybody at the home knowing it? Those are the types of technologies that we're looking at. But again, I just want to be very, very cautious as we take off down this path, that include public safety in the end use of that, so that we know what's coming and we can try to standardize some of the platforms that they're going to be delivering to us, keeping the job as efficient yet simple as we can keep it on this end to get the help where it needs to go.
And Pepper has been a great partner on that front as well, considering that end-to-end user experience and response and the additional data that can be provided there and continuing to innovate. I don't see any questions, guys, for us. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I pose to you is is Rapid in a position to be kind of a clearinghouse and a standard setter and that sort of thing to the limit you can? I know it puts you in a tough position because you're dealing with the private sector. Or what's your suggestion? What might be the best way that we can go about trying to accomplish that?
I think it's continuing to work with companies like RapidSOS that are in that position with expertise in both. They technology-driven company with a solid mission statement that has reach into both worlds with expertise in both sides. We lean heavily on our public safety side in those B2B conversations. I work directly with Scott and really Scott's team on some of the implementation aspects and success metrics, and we lean into the support that we get from the other side. So there's that constant communication and supporting events like this as well.
Awesome. And Scott, I just want to say it was a pleasure working with you on this panel today, and I look forward to seeing more of what you guys are developing, and would welcome the opportunity to partake in any of it if you ever need it.
Yeah, likewise, David. One kind of parting comment. The whole technology scene is changing at a pace we've never seen before, and the way the mass market sort of reacts to technology change is through phases. You have early adopters, you have the regular population, and then you have late adopters. And to be successful in working with the entire population set, you have to create options. The history of home security has not provided a lot of options. It's given the consumer the obligation to acquire a set of devices that are professionally installed with pricing that they really don't have the ability to manipulate. In the changing world, consumers are building their connected life one device at a time when you talk about the population as a whole. And so we want to enable that and still offer services that typically have only been available with multiple devices or endpoints or security devices in the consumer home. So I really appreciate RapidSOS and their ability to again move at the pace of innovation, because that's really helpful to us as we go to market.
Scott and David, sincerely thank each of you for generously sharing your insights with us today. I'm grateful to have you as part of the RapidSOS Ready community. Thank you again. Should anyone have questions or wish to connect, please feel free to reach out to me, jrose@rapidsos.com, or connect with me on LinkedIn. We have more engaging sessions lined up later today and tomorrow. Be sure to explore them on the Volvo platform, and thank you for being part of today's event. Thank you, guys. Have a good evening.